bit of extra audio just to make sure.
Nice. Now I think I made you slightly too loud.
2 bars down. Ooh.
Hang on. There you are. Well, you were at like 40 some, and I bumped you up to 60 some. So let me put it at like 55. There we go.
It's one of those times you need a soundboard with analog controls. So you can just be like, perfect.
As long as they make that sound.
That's the sound I have. I say to my kids whenever they're about to do something they know they're not supposed to.
I was just about to say that, but with like, because with a kid you can be like no, but like with when Scott lived here and we had the cats, that was the sound I made when the cats were like scratching on the couch or something. I'm sorry, cats. The cat. It wasn't Kita. It was always the other one. What the hell was the other one? Nico, the little bastard.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hear. I'm like, what the?
That's why I don't like cats.
I like cats. People. Oh my god. So there's a cat who hangs out outside here in the apartment complex, and she's adorable. Her job is to sleep on the chair at the apartment next door. He's got like a little two chairs and a table, and her job is to sleep in one of those chairs, and she takes her work very seriously. But it turns out she used to belong to someone here in the complex. Fayen says for 10 months in a row. Thanks, buddy. He says whoop whoop. That's different from woot woot.
Yeah.
It's got more of an alarm sound, you know, woot and then whoop. See, it sounds whoop whoop. You know, anyway. But anyway, yeah, I was talking to some of the neighbors outside, and apparently the cat used to actually belong to someone here in the complex. But those people had a baby, and the cat, I don't know, something, and they
got
just
voted off the island.
Yeah, and they just put her out. And I'm like, what the
people,
fuck?
Some people are very, very paranoid about that sort of thing. You hear horror stories about like a cat sleeping on a baby's face, which that's utterly ridiculous.
Well, apparently, once they had the baby, the cat started crapping everywhere but the litter box.
Oh well, that's just because it was mad there was someone new in the house.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
they just took the collar off and put it outside, and now it's an outside, like it's not their cat anymore. It's like the apartment complex's cat, and I'm like, can we report these people? Because that's massively messed up.
I mean, it sounds like it could easily fit under, depending on the steps they took. If they just put the cat out without taking it to a shelter,
yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, exactly.
Borderline animal abuse.
But I don't know how borderline that is. But like now, my neighbors are like, you should take her in. I'm like, and do what with her? They're like, keep her. I'm like, no. I can't afford a cat. I forget to feed myself half the time. That's part of the reason that we started a little later today, is because I realized at approximately 7:15 I didn't eat yet. But yeah, cat. Like I love people that you know have money that don't understand. They're like, yeah, you just take the cat in and that's easy. I'm like, yeah, and you have to buy food and supplies.
You actually have to be around to do stuff with the cat.
Well, I mean that I never leave the apartment, so that they were amazed when I came outside. Like, Joey, you're alive. I'm like, shut up. But like, what the hell, man? Got to get a litter box and then buy litter, and then like shots. And,
do something with it.
And vets. And I'm like, I'm broke. They're like, nah, it's easy. I'm like, tell you what, if you will buy all of the supplies and everything and pay for vet visits and all that, I will totally take in the cat. And they're like, no. I'm like, well, then how about you shut your... And they're words that I won't say now because we're doing the show. But I invited them to eat various parts of bodies.
Nom nom.
Anatomical features.
Yes. Here, have some delicious, delicious penis. Anyway, we should actually start the show now. Yeah, we should. Because I actually hit recording. Oh, I did? Oh.
Well, damn.
Never mind then. Was this when they put the cat out? Is that when yeah, that's when
Oh,
I saw it.
yes. You're right.
Okay. That's okay. It'll get cut out of the actual podcast, so it's fine. This is just the YouTube version, so that only like 6 people watch, so it'll be fine. Okay, so here we go. Is the number right? I did change the number. Okay. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Manapool. This is the Manapool number 526 here on twitch.tv/themanapool, where we stream the episodes live. And what was that? And Pinball Witch threw 50 bits and says, Jam, come watch live on Twitch unless there's a preview card. That's true. Yeah, if we have a preview card, I can't stream live on Twitch. Sorry about that. But I'm not sorry about that because previews are sweet.
Previews are sweet.
It's like, we love you guys, but we like having preview cards too.
Yeah, I'm sure once, like, if we ever get to the point where we have them every set, then it'll start to get old, but probably not.
I'd still argue not.
Or if the go live date for our preview is actually a night where we're streaming.
Yeah.
No, because they recommend that you don't wait too late to reveal it. Like, I think the email said something like, 1 or 2 p.m. local time is a recommended. Don't wait too long. Or I might be making that up. I haven't actually read that email since I first got it. But anyway. Oh, Stark Maximum says, theoretically, you could stream an episode with a preview card. Once.
And never again.
Yeah, if we want to stop getting preview cards, we'll totally do that. Anyway. Hi, everybody. I am Chewy, the lead dork, and with me, as always, are these other dorks. Hi, dorks.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm the lead Rambler, Tangent Master of the group. Love me some previews, and I love how many people were clued in to or love the fact. I love the fact that lots of people loved that Chewy got to preview a spider. Like, everybody was just like, that's awesome. It didn't hurt that the spider itself was also seriously awesome.
It was pretty cool. Oh, I gotta tell Bill. So Bill asked me on Monday when we revealed the spider. He said, "So how many people have sent you this?" Going, "Hey Chewy, look at this." I'm like, "It's mine." He said, "Yeah." And people send you spiders all the time, and not everyone's gonna know that it was your preview card. So how many people have sent it to you saying, "Hey, look at new spider"? I was like, none yet, actually. But it just went live like 2 hours ago at this point. I'm like, wait till it hits the card image gallery, and then I probably will get it several times. And you know what? I didn't get it once. Now I'm going to because I said it, so people are going to send it to me to be funny, but it doesn't count, so it's not funny. Anyway, next dork.
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy. And I don't know if I could top Brian's successive uses of the word love, so I'm just going to let him have the title.
Nice.
And I'm
Does that
Dirk.
mean I'm a love machine? Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
And don't do any work for nobody but you.
Oh my god. Good night, everybody.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And as usual, I have no witty comeback or anything of that sort. It's just been a fun week. And fun meaning I'm tired.
We still love you?
Yeah,
Let's say.
Aw, I'm loved.
you are love.
I'm just in it for the physical part.
It physical? Physical?
Yes. I was trying to work something from Greece in there that wasn't horribly offensive, but of course, the first songs from Greece that popped in my head were horribly offensive, so never mind. So anyway, hello everyone. We're back with not another exclusive preview card because the full set has been revealed. The full set of Guilds of Ravnica, that is. And so we're gonna just poke around in the card image gallery and see what we can come up with. I guess we should mention the Magic Arena open beta starts, what, the 27th? Was it like a week from today? Is that it?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if you wanted to play Magic Arena but couldn't get a code, and if you couldn't get a code, I think that's on you. Because when they gave everybody that had a code already 5 codes, I couldn't find people to give them away. I think I still have like 2 that Jake sent me. He was like, here, you can use these too. I'm like, gee, thanks. But anyway, yeah. So they're going to wipe the accounts, reimburse any purchased gems. So if you spent any money on it, you're not actually losing that money.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that process starts in a couple days. If I remember correctly, the email I got, they were like, the 22nd or 3rd, we're going to do this, and then we're going to shut this down, and then everything goes away on this day, and yay. And I went, oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think I also remember them saying that they're not planning on doing another wipe during the transition from the open beta to full live. They're just going to slide into it. At least that's what it sounded like they were saying.
Well, yeah, and that makes a lot of sense because once you get into the open beta, people are gonna start getting pretty darn invested. I mean, there's some people that already are, but you're opening it up, and it may not come across as well to people that like, hey, glad you've invested on all this, and yes, you'll get reimbursed, but people still get attached to this is what I crafted, this is what I wanted, that sort of thing. So
yeah, and since it's open, it might as well be live. They're just acknowledging that it's still jacked up.
Yeah.
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 I get the feeling some of that is hearsay. Go look it up for yourself just to be sure.
Yeah, I might not have read it right.
Well,
Mike does have a tendency.
There are 26 exceptions to the hearsay rule in court, so...
So, yeah. I still haven't played it for a while because I hated it so much. Did they ever add a set filter in the collection? Does anybody know?
I haven't played it in a little bit. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I have not played it in a little bit, and that's more just because of my schedule than any sort of preference.
Chat? No? Okay. Nobody knows. Okay. But anyway, I recently started playing Eternal, so...
Oh, is that the one that what's his face?
No.
Okay.
That's Artifact, which seems to be the first thing everyone says is, oh, is that Richard Garfield's? No. It's the one by Direwolf Digital that like LSV and whatnot helped design.
No, I wasn't going to say. I mean, that Prillman or somebody was hyping up.
Lensdale.
Lensdale,
yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I did try that. I think I still got the shortcut on my desktop. Yeah, Eternal. I played it like a year ago for like a little bit. It wasn't bad.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
If you can play Magic, you can play Eternal.
Yeah, and if you can work your way around Hearthstone's collection, then Eternal's just as good as on that. It's like what Magic Arena should be from a digital card game presentation standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's everything that Magic Arena wasn't, and that's what made me angry. But anyway, so that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Guilds of Ravnica. Dang it.
Yes.
So tell me, Dorks, what should we talk about? And oh Lord. Excuse me, stream. This appears to be not functioning. There we go. Fixed it.
Nice.
So what should we talk about there, gents?
Well, I have not actually looked at the full spoiler, so I'm happy to just skip around. I don't want to just like go through all the white cards, all the blue, and all that sort of stuff. But I guess for anyone that has gone through the whole spoiler or skimmed it at least, what mythics have we not talked about? Because maybe we'll start that way.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh,
It's in the
okay,
multicolored.
There's one in white that we didn't cover that is completely insane.
Which one's that?
Divine
Divine
Visitation.
Visitation.
Oh, that thing's awesome.
See?
Yeah. Yeah, this one actually was previewed, like 2 days ago? So it was up before the whole thing went up. This is great. Dirk, have you read this?
I have not.
You should read Divine Visitation.
All right, Divine Visitation, 3 and 2 white. It's a mythic enchantment. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are created instead.
That's just bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
I find the mana cost reminds me a whole lot of Sigil of the Empty Throne because I think it's very comparable effect. Sigil says that whenever you cast an enchantment spell or an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, one of the two, you get a Sarah Angel token, and this doesn't generate the tokens on its own. But think about anything like that would make two saps instead of make two saps, you get two angel.
Oh, I got you beat. It takes an old card, Mobilization.
Mobilization seems
Boo.
pretty good.
Boo.
Hey, what's the what's Dirk?
Talk about getting an upgrade.
The epic spell that in your
snakes?
In your snakes, yeah. Is it Endless Swarm?
Yeah, it's like I can't remember what it is.
Swarm of angels.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
But I mean, even something really simple like this common right down here, the Hunted Witness. It's a 1/1 that dies into a 1/1. But if it's a 1/1 for one that dies into a 4/4 into a Sarah Angel, that's kind of insane.
It dies
good.
and becomes an angel.
Yeah. Seems appropriate.
It dies and an angel shows up. It's like, okay, someone's in trouble.
Yeah, Twitch chat is currently loaded with people giving us token makers.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of them.
Let's see. We've got Tristani, Darian, Raise the Alarm, Avenger of Zendikar.
Yeah.
What's the make... Okay, this is a good... What's the make X1/1 spell that wraths everything else of X is 5 or more? I can't remember the name of that.
Oh.
I know what they're asking
see it.
about.
I see it. It's a whole bunch of guys, and it
was in one of the Alara sets.
It was in one of the Alara sets. I can see it.
I think it was in Conflux, but I cannot remember what it's called.
I'm looking it up. I can Marshall Coup?
Yes,
That's
right.
the one. Yes. Oh, and Stark got it right then.
X and 2 white sorcery. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the hermit that makes squirrels?
There's a couple, right?
It's a ranged hermit.
Does he make squirrels?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and there's the one that flips over that has morph and makes saps, I think, or is it more squirrels?
Was that Felonite hermit?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Anyway, the point is anything
There
that
are
makes
tons of way of abusing this.
yeah, anything that makes small tokens at great numbers is completely busted with Divine Visitation. But also anything that makes small tokens at all is busted with Divine Visitation.
I mean, we're talking about some older cards, but even in standard, there's the guy that makes a sap at the beginning of each player's upkeep, and then if you have the city's blessing, all your saps get +2/+2. Well, that's not going to help this, but you still get an angel with flying every upkeep. That seems pretty good. So,
Yeah.
I like it. Cool. All right. Any other mythics in white that we haven't already talked about? I don't see any more.
I don't see any.
Doesn't seem
Blue,
so.
Blue had the Dream Eater.
Yeah, we had that guy.
Yeah.
Black
Black
had the demon that'll kill
had-
Mike, the Doom Whisperer, with the
That's
amazingly
not,
terrible
That's not descriptive, but
art.
yeah. I'm
We-
just scrolling through here. I'm seeing some really interesting
Arc like
art,
Phoenix is the red one.
Yeah, we got
which
him.
I think
her,
we talked
it,
about. Yeah.
whatever. The bird, pretty
It's a
bird.
Who's a pretty bird? I think green would be the Ferox.
Yeah, green's the Ferox. Okay,
Okay.
so that's all the monocolored one. Oh, and the Great Worm.
And the Great Worm.
Yeah.
That's almost. It's kind of in the set, but not really.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Aurelia last time? I feel like we did.
No, we did not.
Yeah,
Didn't
we
we?
did,
Wasn't
but we
it-
didn't talk
We
about.
did?
Yeah. But we didn't have the card in English.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Actually, it was pointed out that there is, because we said, why would you do anything other than target her with her own ability? And we got a response to why that was really good. So, a reminder, Aurelia Exemplar of Justice is her real name. 2 a red and a white, 2/5 flying angel with mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0, trample if it's red, and vigilance if it's white. And someone pointed out, you target another creature with mentor with that ability, so Aurelia can get counters. And I went, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good too. Yeah. So I think we didn't say you never want to target something else. It's just that she's always there, so she's always a good target. And because
Actually, I
she's
think it
white-
was Brian who went, why would you ever?
Okay. And that was definitely an overstatement, but
Here's a mythic, 2 below her.
Yeah.
Oh, she's on it too. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's see. This seems like a Mike card. Hey, Mike.
This is really cool. Chance for Glory costs 1 a red and a white, and it's a mythic instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game.
this doesn't say until end of turn for that first part.
Right.
Well,
so
that would be really stupid because then they're not indestructible next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just.
Yeah,
I'm
they stay
just
indestructible during the extra turn, and then if somehow you're able to survive the lose the game part, they stay indestructible. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Because of the missing until end of turn on the new split card.
Mhm.
People saw this and were like, "Did they miss it twice?" No, they didn't.
No, this one has
That's
to be on
intentionally
purpose. Yeah,
missing.
That seems pretty good.
'cause otherwise it
This-
wouldn't work properly.
This,
Even if you use it in the intended way.
this feels very much like a Relentless Assault variant, which we know how much Mike loves Relentless Assault.
Because it's awesome.
Don't you mean like Final Fortune?
Well, it's Relentless Assault Final Fortune, but it just reminds me a lot of Relentless Assault.
Relentless Assault is just your guys attack again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the most important
That's
part.
usually what I use extra turn effects for anyway.
Yeah.
That is true. You do. Yeah. Draw
All right,
15 more
so-
cards.
I'm not denying that there's
And
more
attack.
going on here than that, but
Well, obviously I'm gonna ask a rules clarification question for Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you have a platinum angel out.
Yes.
You play this.
Yes.
Which one takes effect?
Sorry, I just caught up on how to answer the question. Platinum Angel takes effect.
Yeah.
You don't lose the game. And now it's indestructible, so congratulations.
Yeah. Can't effects usually, I think always
Always.
go over can effects.
Yeah, if something can't happen, then it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah. And since Platinum Angel says you can't lose the game, when Chance for Glory says you lose the game, Platinum Angel goes, ah! You all right, Dirt?
Well, I'm just going. Okay, so this card will only be played in standard.
I don't see this getting played in standard.
You don't. I mean, I kind of don't either, unless it's like your.
it would have to be in a very specific type of deck that really.
Right.
I mean, getting extra attacks with a crazy aggro deck is always nice, but when you don't want the extra attack, then you're stuck with a card that isn't a creature card and isn't a burn spell in your hand. So
Yeah.
that's a downer. So maybe some people will play crazy one-ofs and see what they do.
You can think of worse strategies.
What else is mythic that we haven't talked about?
There's a. Nope, that's rare.
Mnemonic Betrayal.
Right. We didn't do. I don't even recognize this card.
That's cool also.
Okay. For 1, a blue and a black. It's a mythic sorcery. Exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. All of them? Okay. You may cast those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though mana of any color to any type, to cast those spells. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, return them to their owner's graveyards. Exile Mnemonic Betrayal. Your graveyards are all basically in my hand. That's really interesting.
For the moment.
Well, for the moment, but
That's trippy.
it would be stupid if that was allowed to remain indefinitely.
But it's not your graveyard too, so you can't really
Correct.
set anything up.
Unless there's something to abuse, that's almost like in their graveyard that lets you access something in your graveyard. That would be silly. But you can always, if you've got shenanigans for your own graveyard, you can do that anytime.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally everyone else's graveyard. In multiplayer, that's insane.
Yeah, like Pinball Witch pointed out, it's Yawgmoth's Will for your opponent's graveyards. The reason it doesn't do your graveyard is because they don't want yet another Yawgmoth's Will effect in the game.
Well, yeah.
That would be bad.
Wow. So that's cool.
Did we talk about Thousand Year Storm before?
Oh God, no, not yet.
No, not yet.
Oh God.
Wolfie Harvell asked about Mnemonic Betrayal interacting with Omniscience, or Omniscience, depending on how silly you are. Does that say hand, or just, what does it say, Gatherer?
Oh, I was just doing that.
Didn't make it there first.
Omniscience says you may cast spells from your hand. It does not interact.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. So, oh God, the 1,000-Year Storm.
This thing's awesome.
Okay, you read it then.
I just read a card, but sure, I'll take this one too. 1,000-Year Storm for 4, a blue and a black, a blue and a red. Sorry, is it blue and a red? Enchantment, mythic. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. It gives your instants and sorceries a version of Storm. A version of Storm because Storm just cares about how many spells you cast, period. This is only cares about instants and sorceries you cast. But nevertheless, that's pretty cool. Now, of course, a monkey could break this thing in half. Oh, gee, I guess I'll play ramp spells and ritual spells. Nah. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm thinking really neat stuff. I always liked Eye of the Storm because, somebody puts like a rampant growth on there or a divination, and then everybody just wants to cast spells. It's fun for everybody. This is just fun for you, but it still allows you to do some kind of silly things. So I like it.
Yeah, this is amazingly silly.
It definitely it's a lot easier to do this with low casting cost spells, so it's less about the big spell, unless again you're playing, well, gee, let me chain this Seething Song into Dragonstorm, woo, whatever. But if you play like a lightning bolt followed by a cheap cantrip followed by something else that's reasonably costed, by the time you get to that third spell, you're getting 2 extra copies of it. Seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's got neat art too. And I mean, 1,000-Year Storm. That's just That's a very evocative name. It is
That's a
lovely.
story spotlight card too.
Ral's storm crackled with mystical detections. Planeswalkers were infiltrating Ravnica. Yeah, they were. Well, remember, he was setting up that field that was supposed to be able to detect Planeswalker activity.
Dang it, man. So yeah, this card is insane. Moving on. Did we talk about Tristani? We did, didn't we?
It was not out yet.
Okay, that was Monday Night Magic. This seems
What's
like a
it
dirt
do?
card.
It is. Tristani Discord for 3, a green, and a white. It's a legendary creature dryad that's a 1/4 and is mythic. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. When Tristani Discord enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own.
Also, it's Tristani Discordant.
Oh, sorry, discordant. You messed me up, man.
That's what I do.
So this is pretty neat. I really love the art, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is a strange card. Also, this card, right, I remember now. This card led to a discussion on Monday Night Magic. Bill pointed out because of the whole... remember we talked a few weeks ago about how they were changing the token ownership rules?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again.
And we were... Yeah. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Oh, now
Is
I
that
do.
when we talk about Hunted Dragon?
Right. And it was pointed out to me on Twitter that Hunted Dragon now says the opponent creates.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you couldn't go Hunted Dragon and then Tristani and then get those knights.
Okay.
Because it forces the opponent to create tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from, I think that was Pharmacist Judge. I think that was Min on Twitter who told me that. I hope I'm remembering that correctly.
But there had to be a... Because I was wondering about that. Because that seemed like... But that's not what the meaning of that dragon's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like, here, have some knights. Oh, thank you for giving them back to me.
Well, that's how they worked, like, originally.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to where, okay, whoever got them first is who owned them. But now it's whoever created them owns them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And I think we...
I think we screwed up when we talked about it on that episode.
Yeah, because someone... Pinball, which is reminding us in the chat that at the same time they also changed how the word create was being used on some of those weird cards that gave tokens to other people.
Exactly, yeah. And we just missed that part.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Tristani was created to fight Hostage Taker, apparently. I didn't know Hostage Taker was so bad that it needed a card to fight it, but, you know, whatever.
In the Future League it is, apparently.
You mean in...
Or it was, apparently.
In, what are they called now? Play design? Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's a homeward path. Homeward path? What was
Homeward
that?
Path.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, the land, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a brooding Sauron. Saurian.
Oh, brooding,
yeah, I was trying
sorry.
to think of that. Mhm.
Oh, I could see the art as soon as you said it. It is a happy mama lizard.
Happy Mama Lizard. Yep.
Huh?
With those weird owl things.
Hey, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, something made me think about this when we were talking about the story spotlight on Thousand Year Storm. I remember there was some flavor text that dealt with Ral, Zarek, and Niv Mizzet, and I don't remember if we actually talked about this last week, but it's on a common. Command the Storm for 4 and a red instant deals 5 damage to target creature. In the wake of Niv Mizzet's disappearance, Ral found himself leading the guild. He had dreamed of this day but he couldn't help feeling like a pawn in someone else's game. Did we talk about that last week?
We did not.
Okay. Well, we did mention that some of the guilds are being appropriated, shall we say.
Nice.
And two of them are, and that basically the ones that have planeswalkers leading them. So it looks like we have Niv Mizzet and something's going to happen in Niv Mizzet to make him go away. And Ral is like, woohoo! Because if you remember during like the race for the through the guild gates in Dragon's Maze, Ral was like very upset he wasn't going to be allowed to participate, right? So he kind of blew up the Is-It Perun and said, oh, gee, darn, guess I got a race now. So he kind of wants this role, but now he's like, yay. Yay. And then we talked last week about Assassin's Trophy, the green-black, really awesome destruction spell, and the fact that it looked like Asperia, and the flavor text says, a power vacuum for the Azorius, a keepsake for Vraska. Well, could be that because there's supposed to be 3 guilds in the next set, Ravnica Allegiance, that will be Boros controlled. Could be that Asperia is basically
Bolas
getting
controlled.
What now?
You said
Boreas.
controlled.
I meant Bolas controlled. Boros. Boros. Too many similar names, but it could be that they're setting up Azorius to be one of those guilds. And who might that planeswalker be? Could he have enlisted Doran Ban, or could it be someone else? So,
You mean Dovin Bond?
Dovin Bond, whatever. Or maybe they'll make Tezzeret just a little white for this, just a little bit.
Marike de Bruit.
Well,
Right.
I'll go ahead and make a prediction for the next set.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Simic will side with Bolas.
Oh, almost certainly.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so because they are out for evolution, for change, for adaptations, and I feel that Bolas is one that can easily bribe them with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Dark's right. I think that they definitely have always been on the side of survival, and I could see their work being of interest to him.
Mhm.
So I agree. I think the Gruul are going to be against him because Gruul don't follow nobodies.
I don't know, man. He might
They-
rebel rouse them up into attacking the city folk that have driven them out or something.
He could be. That's
Oh, he might
that
flim
could-
flame them.
There
I
might be
mean,
some
it's really
flimminess in play.
easy to turn the
The mob.
rural folks against the uppity city folk.
I could see that. I could see them going either way. I think there's a strong case for the Simic. I think the Gruul could go either way. If they,
I guess if the Bolas influenced guilds are led by a planeswalker, then Domri Rod is still alive and on the plane, right?
yes,
Yeah.
In fact, he's mentioned in a little bit of flavor test.
Okay, that's what I thought.
What's left? We've got Azorius. I'm pretty sure that's what they're hinting toward being swayed. We've got Gruul. We've got
Orzhov.
Orzhov.
Simic.
Orzhov definitely.
Orzhov, Simic, Rakdos. I
Simic
could make a
Rakdos.
case for all of those going either way, but that's not what this episode is.
No. I just wanted to bring that up, but we've got lots of other previews. So, one preview that I did see before the whole thing was put up that I thought was really cool was Dimir Spybug. For a blue and a black, it's an insect, kind of creepy looking insect. It is a 1/1 with flying, and it's an uncommon. It has menace, so flying and menace. So it's probably getting through. And whenever you surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on Dimir Spybug. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, of course, it doesn't matter whether it's Surveil 1, Surveil 2, Surveil 3, whatever. It's still just getting one counter. It's just whenever you Surveil. But still, I can see that. I mean, a lot of decks are going to want to just use Surveil because Surveil is just so good. And landing one of these early, you start playing away for 1, then 2, then 3. It's not hard to imagine this getting up to at least a 3/3. easily. And it's got flying and menace.
Mhm.
And you don't have to spend any additional resources to build it up because you want to be surveilling anyway. Buh. I like this card. I like it a lot.
Bug.
Oh, sorry. Bug. What else you
So
got?
to clarify, Mike, when you surveil 2, how many counters does Dimir Spybug get?
Just the one.
Thank you.
Just in case anyone needed to know.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. If I was not saying that correctly, I apologize.
I may have zoned out. All right, let's check on our legendary guild people. So we've got
Sure.
Aurelia, and who is the other Boros one?
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, Tal. It starts with a T.
This is
Tajik. Yeah.
this guy's so much better in this version than he was in his last version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't read Tajik. So he's a 1, a red and a white for a 3/2 human soldier with haste and mentor. Wow, that's pretty good.
Keep going.
But I mean, you could stop there, and that's not really rare, but that's a solid uncommon.
I mean that would be a very solid uncommon.
Yeah, okay. He goes on to say, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Nice. And for a red and a white, he gains first strike until end of turn. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, one of the weaknesses for the Boros is that they tend to go a little wide versus having one big guy. Unless you get a ridiculous mythic like Aurelia, you're probably having a bunch of little guys, and Mentor plays into that. What's one of the easiest way to get rid of a bunch of little guys? Pyroclasm effects. And he just says, nope. And notice he doesn't say non-combat damage your opponents control. So you could play this guy and follow him up with your own Pyroclasm effect, and you might lose him if he's not buffed, or if you deal too much damage, and you're still going to keep everybody else on your side. And that's not even getting into the fact that, like Shui said, he's a 3/2 with haste and mentor for 3 mana.
Yeah,
The first strike ability is good. I feel like they have to activate it instead of just have it first strike all the time, because if it was first strike all the time, it would just be ridiculous. A 3/2 with haste and first strike and mentor. No.
That's a bit much.
Yeah. But it's nice that it's there. But there's a lot going on here, and I really like it. I really like him. I wasn't as fond of the version of him in Gate Crash, but this is a guy I can get behind.
So, I was just staring at his sword, and then I pulled up chat, and I see Blowtorch sword. I'm like, okay, so that is coming out of his sword.
Yeah.
Like, because he's so shiny, and he is, I
He's
thought
super
maybe
shiny.
that was like a ridiculous lens flare, but no.
That's how he gets first strike. He lights up his sword.
Oh, he flicks the switch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And hopes his pilot light hasn't gone out. Okay then.
Well, they can't really do a lightsaber without a copyright claim, so this is the next best.
What? Sure they can. They get beam sword. It's fine.
Yeah.
Look at Smash Brothers.
That's
Or from Voltron, blazing sword.
Oh, he's got a literal blazing sword.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
So what other guild leaders do we have going on?
Okay, so then we've got Izzet, which had Ral Zarek and Niv Mizzet. So we covered them.
Yep.
We've got Golgari with Vraska, and then I forgot the name.
The other one.
Izoni.
Yeah.
Izoni, yeah.
Which we did cover her.
Yeah. Okay, then we've got
Selesnya.
Selesnya has Tristani and Imara, so we talked about them.
Yep.
Okay, so then we've got Demir, who's with Lazav. Okay.
Lazav and
then-
Janata.
Yeah,
we
this-
haven't talked
this-
about Atrata. Wait, we did? We didn't.
No, we didn't.
not.
We
This
did
card
not.
with Day 1 Atrata. There was a joke. We were talking about the Day 0 Errata, and then this card was revealed, and someone's like, oh, great, another card with Day 1 Atrata. And someone goes, what's the Errata? Like, read it again.
So, Atrata the Silencer.
Shh. Sorry.
This is a really cool card. So for 2, a white, or 2, a blue, and a black. Make sure I get the colors right.
How come all of us seem to be having issues with color tonight?
It's
It's gonna be my turn
there's
next.
too many options. So Atrada, the Silencer, can't be blocked. It's a 3/5 legendary creature, vampire assassin. Ooh. Whenever Atrada deals combat damage to a player, exile target creature that player controls and put a hit counter on that card. That player loses the game if they own 3 or more exiled cards with hit counters on them. Atrada's owner shuffles Atrada into their library.
That's
It's
Huh.
It's an interesting card. I don't think it's busted or anything like that. In fact, if anything, it's a little on the janky side. I mean, really, you have to play this, attack with it, get through, which is not difficult. You know, it's unblockable, but you still have to get through, deal the damage. They have to have something for you to exile, which is not a guarantee. You shuffle it back in, you have to redraw it, and then repeat this process from step 1 2 more times. You have to draw it 3 times, play it 3 times, attack 3 times.
yeah.
And
But if she's your commander, that's easy.
like I said, I didn't think about commander. I was thinking
Or
about
if you have
just
more
like
than one
60
copy in
cards.
your deck.
That's true. I did see one person was mentioning on a message board somewhere that this is a legend you actually don't mind having 4 copies of because you want to draw it. Somebody else was trying to say that this works really well with who's Dorks' latest commander, the one that uses that uses get more counters on stuff. Atraxia.
The
Oh, yeah.
Phyrexian one.
But obviously, this cares about how many cards you have with hit counters on them, not how many hit counters are on those cards. So I think that was a misreading. I honestly didn't think about Commander. I really didn't. And yeah, if you can keep replaying it, then it seems pretty good. Although, you know what? I may not just play that 3rd creature. I may just say, you know what? I didn't draw a creature. Okay, go. So,
I may not be playing creatures for a while. Well, that's, again, I can see that playing into the Demirs, that it's, all right, play a creature. I don't care. Oh, look at that. And then if you don't play creatures, they'll just play creatures and beat you with them.
it is.
That's the sly backhandedness of the Demir.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that Brian said he was on a message board somewhere?
I was trying to think about where it was, and I think there's a couple of people that do videos of the previews every day. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It might have been MTG headquarters or somebody, and on YouTube. And I think I was going over one of those, and I was just skimming the video, but everybody was talking about this card. So I was not on like Reddit or 4chan or whatever. Do those websites still exist? I don't.
Okay,
I
would like to clarify Brian was not watching a MTG headquarters video.
No, Brian just doesn't actually remember what he was watching.
Yeah,
I don't remember who it was.
It was
I
not.
don't.
It better not have been MTG headquarters, or we might have to stop being friends.
I don't. It was some channel that covers previews. I don't remember which one it was. I know I'm being. Oh, it was Heroes and Legends MTG. So there you go.
There you go.
I'm not familiar with. I think I heard of MTG headquarters. I don't know why that would be in my head.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Okay. Oh, all right, it's one of those channels, huh? Okay.
We wish.
Anyway, so more previews. And that does it for our legendary guys, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Seems
Well, at
that
least
way.
that's all of our guild related people. I don't think there are any other legends in the set, right?
I don't think so.
Think so? Probably not. Hey, we Dragonauts is back.
Whee!
Whee!
Nice to see that they're like, yeah, this is what it should be. I dig some of the reprints. I saw the oh come on, Sky Knight Legionnaires back as well with much better art. Much better art.
I kind of miss the crotch in your face art. I'm just saying. This art is insanely sweet, though.
I do like it. I do like it.
Okay, wait. Are there any lands? Oh, Mike.
Yes.
I was supposed to ask you. Hang on. Stream. Where the hell is the stream? Stream, you get to look at this for a second. I have to ask you a question.
State-based actions.
Correct.
You are correct.
Okay, from Kim Ho,
Okay.
who says, "Hey, for tomorrow's episode of TMP, can you ask Mike how easy/difficult it would be to build a Maze's End deck now that we have an additional gate plus circuitous route?"
I really like circuitous route.
I'm gonna guess is
And-
green.
Yeah, and the Civic Wayfinder who can get gates. What's the name? Boop, boop, boop.
So
It's pretty
circuitous
close to it, I
route
think.
is search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and or gate cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle for
It's
3 and a green.
It's explosive vegetation that can get you gates.
I can get gates. Yes.
Wow.
And it's district guide. Mike.
God, it is just straight up explosive vegetation with upside.
Yeah.
Huh. And yeah, district guide is the
Elvish Wayfinder with
that thing that goes to get a basic or a gate.
Oh,
So
look at the
how
cat
much
card next
easier
to
would it be now, Mike?
When you don't have to just rely on just drawing cards and
Whoops.
using the Maze's End itself. And I mean, you had Gate Creeper Vine for help before. But yes, especially circuitous route, that makes a big difference. I don't know. I think we talked about this before. I don't know how much I like the I gotta scroll down to it. I don't know how much I like the Gateway Plaza. I don't know how much better it's going to be than just a regular gate in most situations. That's just because I've just gotten so annoyed by. There came a point where I started getting so annoyed by Rupture Spire and Transguild Promenade with the way they worked and ate up my mana that I started taking them out of decks. So I'm kind of biased against Gateway Plaza to begin with there.
See, I've always loved Rupture Spire, so I go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I realize it is definitely an inconvenience for a turn, but if you can last past that turn, and if it doesn't set you back too far, you're set for a while. So, but that's been my experience. I'm not denying that it is a drawback.
I do have a question for Mike.
Okay.
The guild gates. Can you have more than one of these in a commander deck?
No.
No, because the commander rules are based on the name.
Okay, because I was asking because the Boros guild gates and all of them have different collector numbers.
Yeah,
They do.
because they have different art.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was going. I feel like the answer is no, you cannot have more than one of these. But at the same time, I want to know because these are not. There's a difference between like the basic land cards, which I don't know if they've got collector numbers on them or not, for the different
think
versions
they
of
do.
it.
Wait, what are we talking about? I was answering
The
something in
lands.
chat. Yeah, basic lands all have different collector numbers for each art.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because they're showing different ones with different numbers. And I just wanted to know.
Well, and some people are very particular about especially whether it's aesthetic, like it's for your multiplayer deck that you love, or if it's for tournaments, they want to make sure that they have a particular basic land, like literally the land all has the same art, because either they like how that looks, or competitively, if they have to search for a land, reveal that land, add it to their hand, they play it, the opponent doesn't know is that the one they just drew, or if they had that for a while. So there's all sorts of reasons why you'd want to have a different collector number so you could know exactly which land it is. But I really want to get to what's important here. I just saw and read Generous Stray for the first time ever, and it's the best card in the world. So that's
Good kitty.
That's it. I mean, I love. We were just talking about whether cats are good or bad, but I mean, the art is awesome.
What the hell color is that?
It's green.
Is it green? Yeah.
It's green. It's next to District Guide. I was reading District Guide. I'm like, what is this card? I'm like, holy cow! So Generous Stray for 2 and a green. It's a 1/2 cat. It's common. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. But it's a cat. And then you read the flavor text. Cats place their gifts with care so that a barefoot will step on them in the middle of the night. And you're like, that is true. And then you look at the art and it's got a dead lizard in front of it. And you're just like, if you have ever owned a cat, how can you not love this card? This is the best card in the set, hands down. Done. Next.
Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. It's also a very beautifully drawn cat. So, anyway, I saw that and I'm like, I'm not gonna go another minute without talking about this.
That's pretty good, yeah. I saw the full art for that on Twitter yesterday. I'm like,
Now, Chewy, look a couple cards down, also in green, at a card that starts at Hitchclaw.
Hitchclaw. Oh.
You're welcome.
No. It's a spider, by the way. It's a Hitchclaw
It's
recluse.
a spider.
Is this a reprint?
spider.
I think it is.
Hitchclaw? The name doesn't sound familiar.
It looks like a functional reprint for sure. It's for 2 and a green. It's a 1/4 spider with reach.
Yeah.
That's literally all it does. That feels
It is
like
a
we've seen
reprint
it
from
before,
what?
but
Yeah, give us more information, chat. Don't just say yes. Tell us where it's from, damn it.
Magic Origins.
No wonder I
okay. That's creepy. It's like in its little cave, and its eyes are staring out at you.
Angel's Grace works with Chance of Glory the same way that Platinum Angel does.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the question might be about what Angel's Grace says, because it says, it protects you this turn. The thing is, this turn effects wear off during the cleanup step, but the lose the game from Chance of Glory triggers at the beginning of your end step, which comes before the cleanup step, so you're still protected.
Yeah. All right, so moving back to talking about cards, there's one real high up in white here, the Citywide Bust.
Citywide Bust.
For
I love that Citywide Bust and Color the Culprit also are like...
They should be. They're like
It's a before and after.
Yeah, it's a story in 2 panels.
But you want to talk about Citywide Bust, which is obviously the more impactful.
Well,
of the
first,
two.
first, Color the Culprit for 3 and a white is a common instant that says destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Nice.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense. Citywide Bust for 1 and 2 white is a sorcery that's rare that destroys all creatures with toughness 4 or greater.
Yep.
That's a new sort of kind of Wrath variant.
It is a new kind of sort of Wrath variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
feels,
neat.
Feels very white. Feels very, symmetrical, and yeah. And it also even feels particularly Boros, just because while white creatures tend to have a higher toughness than some of the others, the Boros are more focused on, again, larger numbers of smaller creatures. So chances are they're not going to be as impacted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a card that I just read. Everybody else might have read it, but I read it on the way up to see White Bus. It's called Dawn of Hope, and it reminds me of Mobilization, which goes really well with Divine Visitation, as we've said. For 1 and a white, it's an enchantment, rare. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Seems like a nice upgrade from, was it Words of Wisdom? Words of White, something. And then, because it doesn't actually replace the draw.
It's the opposite of that card. That card says instead of drawing, you gain life.
Instead of drawing, you gain life. So
this is when you gain life, you can pay to draw.
There we go. Okay, great. It's been a while. You're lucky I got that close. Also,
Words of White, yeah.
You can pay 3 and a white to create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. So,
But what if it was a 4/4 with flying and vigilance?
that would be awesome, but actually without the lifelink, then you wouldn't trigger the Dawn of Hope as much. The first part of it. So, yeah, oh darn. Oh darn. Now I can just, pay 4 to make an angel at instant speed. Yes, that's where I was going with that. Yes, that's awesome. But even without Divine Visitation, this is still really good. And like token makers, permanent token makers in a long game can make all the difference. The fact that this makes tokens with lifelink is huge. For limited, this is insane.
Yeah. Matters a lot.
This matters a lot. This is going to break board stalls wide open, and in fact, the stall could work to your advantage in the long run. So, yeah. Nice. What's something somebody else sees? Mike, what do you see?
Something I saw that has actually been here for a long time, so you might have talked about it on the episode that I wasn't able to make. But I noticed it because it's like, I feel like the text changed between the first time I read it and today. So Bounty Agent, did you guys talk about that?
No.
Okay.
It's been up for a while and we just didn't get to it.
Mm-hmm. So Bounty Agent for 1 and a white, it's a 2/2 human soldier. It's rare. It has vigilance. It's a 2/2 with vigilance with a tap ability, so that's nice. It's tap and sack. Tap and sacrifice Bounty Agent. Destroy target legendary permanent that's an artifact, creature, or enchantment.
Target legendary permanent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's an artifact, creature, or enchantment.
So you can't target a legendary land or a planeswalker.
Right. You can't hit lands or planeswalkers.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, the first time I read it and like the subsequent other times I read it, the word creature wasn't there. I saw destroy target legendary permanent that's an artifact or enchantment. I'm like, what the heck is this? That's dumb.
What is this crap?
Yeah.
Also, Derp Attack Go, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the pool. Keep going.
This feels like an obvious, what's the word I want to look for? Like a check on Dominaria. The set, just to be like, hey, in case there's a legendary permanent we put out that maybe we didn't realize how good it would be. Here you go. Here's a very easy to cast. I mean, 2-drop, 2/2 of vigilance. I mean, it's got bear plus stats that can also be a safety valve. Then as long as it's not a planeswalker, that seems like a good idea because they like to put these safety valves in these sets to go just in case, And what set has more legendaries than almost anything else? Dominaria. Dominaria, one of the two. So.
Well, Dirk said Kamigawa, so.
Let's call the whole thing off.
We shall not speak the name of Kamigawa.
So. But yeah, I mean, it's one of these, like, why wouldn't you run it? And then every now and then you're going to be like, hey, I really don't like that. It's going to go away now.
Well, one that I kind of liked was Venerated Lexodon.
So venerated.
So for 4 and a white.
Yes, this guy's good. Yeah.
For 4 and a white, it's a 4/4 elephant cleric that's rare with Convoke. When venerated Luxodon enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that convoked it.
Yeah.
Huh.
I like the fact that it not only has convoke, but it like does it in a almost sort of twist that makes you go, wait, they haven't done this before, because it seems so clean, it seems so easy to grasp, but seems really good. I mean, like, yeah.
It makes me think of a black removal spell from Zendikar block, original Zendikar block, where it was concepted it was a bunch of vampires attacking someone, and you could tap any number of vampires as you were casting it, and all of them that you tapped got a +1/+1 counter. But yeah, you're right. This is the first time that Convoke has been used this way.
Yeah, which just kind of feels like duh, you know. I like it.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
It's an urge to feed in the chat. You were just
right. Yes, that's right. What was I about to say? Oh, it's interesting. The original way that Convoke worked, it was a cost reduction mechanic. So you would be able to just like tap your whole team if you wanted to, for whatever reason. But now, since it's a cost replacement mechanic, you can't do that. You're capped out at the actual cost of the spell. So you can't like tap 10 Saprolings to convoke venerated Loxodon. It doesn't work that way.
So did they change that at some point?
They did. It was when they reintroduced it when Convoke was brought back for a core set.
Oh. I did not know that.
All right. I want to talk about Omnispell Adept.
Yeah, you do.
Of course I do. For 4 and a blue. It's not cheap. But it is a human wizard. It's rare. It's a 3/4. And you may pay 2 and a blue and tap him. You may cast an instant or sorcery card. Cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Yep.
I read this and I'm like, I'm missing something. And then I realized I didn't read the mana cost. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So obviously this is not costing 2 or 3, you know. I honestly think this is perfectly safe. You have to cast 5, pay 5 to cast it. You've got to pay 3 and tap it. So this is less about getting more value out of your small spells and more about like, here's something ridiculous that is stupid expensive or in different colors or whatever. And I just want to have it. Gimme. So it's a little greedy. Obviously, you're not going to do X spells with this because X would be 0. But
her.
But you know, something like the ultimatums would be really cool because they're so expensive and they're so cost specific. I would see something like that, like Brilliant Ultimatum, being really cool with this.
I just like that it seems like the Omnispell Adept is a big fan of Fantasia.
And see,
just totally doing the Sorcerer Mickey thing.
And now I have the Sorcerer's Apprentice song running through my head. So.
Copyright.
I don't think Disney owns the song. I think it was adapted from an existing work. So
yes, it was.
Yes.
Good job.
But, yay.
What about quasi-duplicate? Or
Did we
quasi-duplicate?
not talk about that already? I thought we talked about it during the mechanics article.
No.
Oh?
It wasn't out during the mechanics article.
It wasn't?
Did we? Oh, it was is it a promo?
Was what a what?
The quasi-duplicate? Is it one of the promos? Because if it was a promo, we talked about it.
I don't remember.
Well, yeah, you weren't here.
I wasn't on that episode either, yeah.
Well, just in case we missed it, 1 blue, rare sorcery, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. And it has Jumpstart. So you can discard cards and cast it. Discard a card and cast it again.
Hmm.
Slightly limited just in the fact that you can't copy an opponent's stuff, but that's it. That's not much of a limitation. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think we talked about this.
Okay.
I just like that it's 2 clones in one.
Yeah.
Hey, Dirk, you see anything you like?
Oh, I'm looking, still looking.
Did you guys see the art on the reprint for Child of Night?
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Oh, did they reprint Child of Night?
Yeah, check out the art.
I didn't see it yet. I'll head up there in just a second.
Oh, okay, here's one. Blood Operative. There's just a lot of texts, and I haven't read this card. So, 1 black for a rare vampire assassin. It's a 3/1 with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target card from a graveyard. Okay, sideboard card. Whenever you surveil, if Blood Operative is in your graveyard, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return Blood Operative to your hand. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
I like it. I was actually just looking at that a second ago.
Yeah, and having lifelink and 3 power, that's not too steep an ask.
Yeah. What? Creeping Chill is the card about half of Twitter didn't read right the first time. All right. Hey, Mike, read Creeping Chill.
All right. Burglar Rat costs 1 and a... Oh. Creeping Chill costs 3 and a black. It's an uncommon sorcery. Creeping Chill deals 3 damage to each opponent, and you gain 3 life. When Creeping Chill is put into your graveyard from your library, you may exile it. If you do, Creeping Chill deals 3 damage to each opponent, and you gain 3 life.
So what did Twitter read wrong? Because that's... half of Twitter thought it was into the graveyard from anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's different.
That is different. That
That's
means
a
if
lot
you
different.
cast it, you get 2 uses out of it.
Shark.
Aw, Twitter's dumb. I bet people on Reddit thought that too, because Reddit's also dumb. So if it gets milled, it casts itself.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
Or you do the.
Or if you surveil or jump... Well, no, you can't jumpstart it. But if you surveil it,
Yeah.
you cast it
Right.
for free. Which I think is more important. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing from.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. I like it. That's actually really sick.
It is.
And I'm still glad. I bring this up from time to time whenever I see it, because they've stopped the Siphon Soul effect, where in multiplayer stuff gets busted. So this deals 3 damage to each opponent, and you gain 3 life. You don't gain 3 life for each opponent
12.
or anything like that. Yeah, it's just you
And
gain
Siphon-
3.
Siphon Soul obviously is the more obvious comparison. I think the most egregious offender is still
Siphon Mind?
no
Brave
Yeah.
Merchant of Asphodel.
no
Freaking Gary.
Congregate, where it's not necessarily directed toward number of
No.
players, but it's so exponential with the number of players that it's just stupid. So
I think you're drawing a conclusion that isn't necessarily there, but sure.
that's me. Have you met me before?
It's
That
a
is
bit
also
stretchy. It's a bit stretchy, but I know what he meant.
Yeah, I know what he meant, but
Yeah.
Hey, look, they
Gruesome
reprinted
Menagerie.
Deadwood.
Hey, Shooter, have you read Gruesome Menagerie
I don't
before?
know. Dirk just said Gruesome Menagerie right before you said that. Hey, Dirk.
Okay, Dirk.
Yes. So, Gruesome Menagerie for 3 and 2 black is a rare sorcery. Choose a creature card with converted mana cost 1 in your graveyard. Then do the same. For creature cards with converted mana cost 2 and 3. Return those creatures to the battlefield.
The battlefield.
Yeah, I can definitely see why this is rare.
So for
Is
5
this-
mana, you get back a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop.
Is this playable in like Eternal formats, or is it just too expensive?
I severely
Because-
doubt it.
Yeah, 5 mana, and it doesn't literally say win the game. It's
Mm.
it's touchy.
I'm
You'd
not.
have to find 3 creatures that make some kind of combo that does
Yeah.
something awesome on the spot.
Well, that's just. I'm not saying it would be. My first thought is I see the cost. I'm like, probably not. But this just is so much value, just so much. So, and the flavor text is also awesome.
Variety is also the spice of death. Well, your 1-drop is the card right next to it, potentially. Hired Poisoner. For 1 black, it's a 1/1 with Death Touch.
Mike,
That's always a good one to reanimate, and yeah, my opponents will have this, and I will not.
yeah, isn't this always what kills you in
It
limited?
is. It
Yeah.
is.
So
One of the hands on Gruesome Menagerie is a creepy zombie Ninja Turtle hand.
I was about to
I
say
was
that's a
thinking
Ninja
that too.
Turtle.
One's a human hand, one's like a dragon's claw, and the other one's a
yeah.
turtle hand.
I bet the Ninja Turtle's the 3-drop. Cause oh yeah.
I don't know that Drake hand though. A lot of Drakes are 2/2s for 3. So
The welts, yeah.
I'll be
Sure.
throwing off on the Ninja Turtles, man.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a card that is really exciting to me. It's in
Okay.
blue. Enhanced Surveillance.
Oh yeah.
For 1 and a blue, it's an uncommon enchantment. You may look at an additional 2 cards each time you surveil.
Yes, this thing.
Yes. It has an activated ability. You can exile it to shuffle your graveyard into your library. But
I saw this thing and I was like,
2 more
wow,
cards.
really?
2
Really?
more cards is a lot of new cards.
2 more cards, and that's like, if you have out 2 enhanced surveillance, it stacks.
Yes.
Yes, I saw this card and I was like, no way.
So
And I love the fact that it has a relevant, like, well, I don't really need to surveil anymore. Let me just reshuffle my graveyard back into my library.
So there was a question about this when it was first revealed on the Discord server. What this means is Surveil 1 is treated as Surveil 3. Surveil
It is.
2 is treated as Surveil 4. You just add 2 to the number.
Yes. Okay.
So it gets nuts. Also, I just saw the art on Leapfrog, and that makes me happy.
That's a neat little thing.
He is like real high up,
Poor guy. I hope he makes it down okay.
right? I mean, the card, and okay, if you're playing the Manapool drinking game, I guess take a drink. The card is whatever, but the art is awesome.
I want to know how this frog is a 3/1. That's a pretty big aggressive frog
most,
right there.
most blue frogs like that are venomous, right? Poisonous? I forget which
guess.
one.
That's true. He's got that weird bright neon blue color.
Yeah. Stark said, "You can't see it, but that frog has a knife." That's probably it. He'll shiv you.
Oh wow! I just read Drowned Secrets above it, and that's kind of a cool card. Drowned Secrets for 1 and a blue. There's so many cards here that almost make me go, "Wait, what? This hasn't been printed before." But for 1 and a blue, it's an enchantment. It's rare. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, and you get it, and you're like, "Oh, of course." I love the fact that this one, so many mill spells like tie into the mechanic for the set, like, you know, the landfall crab from Zendikar, or other cards that again they tie into. Okay, you do what the set wants you to do. So mills somebody. There's a blue card from Dominaria that mills somebody whenever you play a historic spell. This is straight up just play blue spells. And in a set like this, you might play some spells that are blue and other things, but you might just get there off of just playing mono blue or multicolor. And yes, just say target player, not target opponent.
Mike.
Nice.
So
That's what I thought. There was a merfolk from Lorwyn called Drowner of Secrets,
mhm.
with an ability to tap and untap merfolk you control
Okay,
to mill
that's
someone
why it
for
sounds
one.
familiar.
So apparently these are the secrets that merfolk in Lorwyn was drowning. How they got to Ravnica? Maybe we'll find out in the next set.
Ooh, intrigue.
Oh man, I just saw Midnight Reaper. In
Oh, you hadn't
black.
seen that before?
That's pretty neat.
I
Did
did.
we
I
not
just
talk
love.
about it?
I don't think so. I just love the
Okay.
art. It's a 3/2 zombie knight for 2 and a black. He's rare. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. So again, the card's pretty cool, but I like the art. It's like a it's like a medieval edgelord.
Yeah. It's mandatory, right? So, as helpful as this is, it might end up killing you every now and
Yay! I'm cool with that. I like drawing cards too. Don't tell Mike. Well,
I
here's
respect you for
another.
that.
Here's
Hey.
another sweeper at rare.
Which one?
Ritual of Soot.
Yeah.
2 black blacks, rare sorcery. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. It's
Culling Sun?
Yeah, it's a cheaper culling sun.
well that too.
Super
But what's
easier
the
to
something
cast.
with soot? Damn it, strangling soot. Was that a
Oh.
card?
I know what you're talking about. That might not be quite the right one.
Gatherer.
Strangling soot.
Soot.
That's toughness 3 or less.
Oh, that's toughness. Okay. Never mind.
Is it SWAT?
SWAT
is powered 2 or less.
Yeah. There have been
Smother?
so many of these.
Smother? What's the smother do?
What's smother? do?
Smother is 3 or less. Yeah,
Is that mana cost?
it is.
Ah, okay.
And it's destroy a target creature with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a board wide smother.
Yeah. And chat reminded us of Consume the Meek. And I forgot Consume the Meek said no regeneration.
Oh yeah. Oh, but it's an instant. Okay. Weird. Anyway, they've printed so many of these conditional removal spells, and a lot of them came out when I wasn't playing or right when I started back. So they've all just smashed together in my head, and I don't remember which one's which.
So
SWAT,
Chewy,
smother, strangling soot. Yes, sir.
I've got a card for you.
Okay.
I saw this one. I was like Chewy, and I actually saw this one a couple days ago. It's in red. It's called Risk Factor.
Risk factor. Okay.
Go ahead.
Good. Okay. For 2 and a red, it's a rare instant. Oh, it's the new Browbeat. Yeah. Target opponent
Yeah.
may have risk factor deal 4 damage to them. If that player doesn't, you draw 3 cards. And it has Jumpstart.
I thought you'd like this one. I didn't know if
Yeah,
you'd
that's
see it.
pretty sweet. And it's
Yeah.
an instant.
And it's an instant. Yeah.
And something about the sentence, I'm going to jumpstart risk factor, just sounds good. They're 4 words that just don't go together. And I think that's why I like it. Read Ornery Goblin's flavor text. Okay. Nobody ever listens to my complaints, not even when I use the listening stick.
He really wants those kids to get off his lawn. Like, a lot.
What does he even do? 2/1 for 2. When he blocks or becomes blocked, he deals 1 damage to that creature. Oh,
So he's got, like, super first strike.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, for a little common dude.
It's always useful.
Not even when I use the listening stick.
Oh, dude, I just read Street Riot, and this seems really good for limited.
Yeah?
For 4 in a red, it's an enchantment. It's uncommon. As long as it's your turn, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. That seems innocuous, but giving all your stuff a slight power boost and trample only during your turn, but who cares about having trample during the opponent's turn? I mean, really, you know?
Did you read the flavor text on Street Riot, Brian?
I did not. They
They
said
said-
obey.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. They said obey and you'll be happy. They said you'll be safe, but we're not safe, we're not happy, and we will not obey. Domri Rod. Could be Bolus working them up. Could be, you know, they see kind of what the Demir see, which is everybody else kind of falling into some sort of weird line, and they're like, nope, not doing it. They're very anti-conformity. But there we go. Domri Rod, still around. What's the biggest guy with Mentor? Is it the rare angel up in white, the mono white angel, Light of the Legion?
I
it
think
might
so. Like that and an Aurelia targeting herself. I think those are
Yeah.
the biggest. Oh, no, wait. Light of Legion is even bigger than that.
be. Yeah. What is Light of the Legion? I had it there a second ago. But...
So 4 white, a rare angel, a 5/5 with flying. So yes, one bigger than an Aurelia targeting herself. Has Mentor. And when Light of the Legion dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each white creature you control.
So it's a evasive creature with Mentor, which just goes well with it in general because you want to be able to attack and have the Mentor live. It's got 5 power, which is the biggest of all the Mentor creatures, at least naturally. And when it dies, you spread the wealth with some +1/+1 counters on each white creature you control. Yeah, this seems really good. This seems really good. I mean, it costs 6 because it has to, but this seems really good.
Yeah, it does.
The best Mentor target that I have seen is I don't think we've talked about this yet, is in multicolored, and it is, come on, Brian, I don't know, the Swift Blade Vindicator for a red and a white, a rare human soldier, 1/1 with double strike, vigilance, and trample. Just straight up. It's rare, and I'm fine with that because on its own, I mean, it's already a 1/1 with all those abilities. It's not great, but it's a whole lot for one little thing. With 1 +1/+1 counter on it, it starts to get utterly ridiculous. Just utterly ridiculous. With 2 counters on it, it's going to dominate combat for like the game. And because it starts off so small, it's going to mentor to everybody and everything. Or it's going to be mentored by everybody and everything.
Yeah, you just have to be sure to protect it those first couple attacks, and you're golden.
Yeah. And since it's got double strike, it's probably going to be okay. Probably.
Oh, and there is one more Mentor creature with 5 power.
Which one's that?
The Hammer Dropper.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
5/2
Okay.
giant.
All right, so a few minutes ago, Pinball Witch threw some bits so that we would talk about the affectionate Indrik.
I really like the concepting on this card.
Yeah. Hey, Dirk, did you read the affectionate Indrik?
What color?
Green.
Green.
I said the picture on it. I didn't read the text. Let's see. For 5 and a green, it's a uncommon beast that's a 4/4. When affectionate Indrik enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature you don't control.
And the flavor is that it's a great big beast that's so happy to see you, it runs up and like bumps its head
Eats you
into
up.
you and knocks you off of a rail or off of a ledge. Because the problem isn't the Indrik's enthusiasm, it's Ravnica's lack of guardrails.
You're home. I love you so much.
Bonk. Where'd you
Where'd
go?
you go?
And look, it's so affectionate, it even has kitties that just hang around with it. Oh, I'm gonna die.
The one I was looking at that I thought was very interesting was Bounty of Might.
Oh yeah.
So for 4 and 2 green, it's a rare instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. No, that was not an audio mistake. That is that text 3 times. So that means 3 separate creatures get +3/+3, or something gets to be +9/+9, or
Yep.
some combination. So yeah. And the flavor text is, I am the very soul of battle, but even I would never advise open war with the conclave. Aurelia.
Dang.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember the first time we saw this was, what, Seeds of Strength?
Seeds of Strength.
Yes.
Or we saw this, repeat the same sentence 3 times on a single card.
The templating, yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, that's really cool. And we've only seen it like a couple of times since then.
It's very rarely used.
Yeah. I think this is a damn good use of it, though.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, if you have a bunch of creatures you just want to, like, all right, let's pump these guys up so they can push through, then you can do it. Or if you just got one really big heavy hitter, you can just load these all up on the one creature and go to town.
Mhm.
Seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, hey, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Did you see Experimental Frenzy? It's such a
Experimental-
Brian card, and I really hate you.
Experimental Frenzy.
It's
What
in red.
color is it? It's in red. Maybe. Let's see. I
Chat,
have not
this
seen
is totally a Brian card, right? Like you guys know.
I have not seen this card. No. Experimental Frenzy for 3 and a red. It's enchantment. It's rare. When you look at the top card of your library anytime, you may play the top card of your library. Can't play cards from your hand and pay 3 and a red. Destroy Experimental Frenzy. Turns out coffee is the weird aunt of invention. Wow. I mean, it is definitely a Brian card. There's no question about that. I don't know how I feel about it exactly, but
If you got the mana, you could burn through your deck.
Well, and you'd have to, have the right setup, because if you're like land, okay, crap, basically draw spells don't even really matter, because you can have 12 cards in your hand. You can still only play with the top card of your library.
Mhm.
Well, okay. If you have a way to play with cards from your graveyard, from exile, that sort of thing. This doesn't say you can only play cards from your library. It just says you can't play with cards from your hand. You can still play with cards from other people's graveyards if you've exiled them with that crazy spell. But
Oh, you can discard some of those cards stuck in your hand to jumpstart stuff.
that's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. It's weird. I'm gonna love it, and I'm gonna get like 3 at the pre-release and go,
Dang it, man.
dang it. That and Thousand Year Storm. I'm gonna be like, great, but
The one I was laughing at was a Crushing Canopy.
Oh, really?
For 2 and a green, it's a common instant. Choose one: destroy target creature with flying, or destroy target enchantment. The Dimir may look all they want. We never get tired of swatting their bugs.
Wait, is that the actual spy bug in the art?
Yes, it is.
Yep. I love the way that they're just slapping together green's various utility on the single card, just in the hopes that it'll see some sort of play.
Is Crushing Canopy also a reprint? Let me check.
I don't.
Yes.
It is? From
Ixalan.
what? Oh, okay. But like, kill a creature with flying or kill an enchantment. Those two things aren't related in any way, other than they're both like sideboard cards for green.
Yeah.
But again, and I have no doubt we mentioned this with, is that it's an easy card, and
It's a
it just has so many uses. It's a Swiss Army card.
it's gonna make your deck like all the time because it's always gonna have a use. There was another card that I felt was kind of the same thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like you might use. Oh, that's right. Sprouting Renewal is another one that's like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm always gonna play this for 2 and a green. It's a sorcery. It's uncommon. It's got Convoke. Choose one, create a 2/2 green and white elf knight creature token with vigilance, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's going to make the deck every time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, because it's either the sideboard or the main deck artifact enchantment removal, or it's a 2/2 with Convoke.
yeah. So, yeah. Did you see they reprinted Siege Worm?
Yes. And now it's scarier somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Alright, is there anything multicolored that we just desperately need to talk about? Camaraderie. Is that a card already? For 4, a green and a white, it's a rare sorcery. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Well, that actually is a floor wax and a dessert topping, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's card draw, it's life gain, and it's pump your team. Huh.
Pump it good.
Remember earlier when I said I hate you?
Yep. Have you changed your mind?
No, not at all.
What is this underneath it? I'm reading this literally for the first time. Charnel Troll. For 1, a black and a green. It is a 4/4 for 3. Rare. It has trample. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Here's the downside. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Charnel Troll, otherwise sacrifice it. Okay? Pay a black and a green, discard a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Charnel Troll.
That's cool. So you use that ability once, and he ends up getting 2 +1/+1 counters. Eventually.
Yeah. So it's a downside in the sense that you have to keep creature cards in your graveyard. So he benefits from your undergrowth, but he's also whittling away at it. It's also a 4/4 with trample for 3 mana that keeps getting bigger. So yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, where's that fling that I don't have to sacrifice this?
Oh yeah. We didn't actually mention that. Well, we mentioned it earlier, but we didn't actually.
What's the name of it?
I have no idea. Gravitic Punch. For 3 and a red, it's a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player, and it has Jumpstart.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's a fling at a player for sorcery speed that you don't sacrifice the creature.
And it has Jumpstart.
So there's
I
your
can
combo with the Impervious Great Worm.
I can see this killing people like just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And also the art on Goblin Locksmith is really interesting.
Brilliant, yeah.
For 1 and a red, 2/1 Goblin Rogue, common. Whenever it attacks, creatures with Defender can't block this turn. Simple, narrow, but then the art of him punching his way through a glass window to unlock a door on the other side. 2/1 for 2. Not bad.
Are the Guild Mages reprints or are they new?
Oh, these
They're
are all
new.
new. Oh yeah,
Brand
we
new.
only mentioned their
Have we-
names last week.
We didn't cover any of them, did we?
No, we haven't.
No.
All right. Well,
Well, the first one's the Conclave Guild Mage. For green, white, it's a 2/2 Elf Cleric uncommon. For green and tap, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. For 5 and a white and tap, create a 2/2 green and white Elf Knight creature token with vigilance.
yep.
So yeah, they tap now in this set, which I've seen people complain about. But then when you read what they do, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that
probably
means
fine.
that means that the abilities can be more powerful
Yeah.
if they have a tap in the cost.
So
Let's see.
that's cool.
Next, we've got the House Guild Mage. It's not like the House Doctor. It's the names of each of these are referring to the particular identifier of each guild, like House Demir, the Selesnya Conclave, etc. So the House Guild Mage costs a blue and a black for a 2/2 human wizard. First ability is pay 1 and a blue and tap him. Target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Significant that it doesn't, in effect, it doesn't actually tap the creature with this effect. So you got to be careful where you use this. And then pay 2 and a black and tap to surveil 2. Seems pretty good.
That is useful.
Yeah, that's one way.
I
To
like
do
it. First ability punishes them for, committing to an attack that will hopefully keep them open the next turn. And then the second ability is just good all the time, forever. So, yeah. Okay. Which one's next?
All right, the next one looks to be the League Guild Mage. It's the Is It one. Blue and a red, 2/2 uncommon human wizard. The first ability is 3 and a blue and tap, draw a card. The second ability is X red, tap. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control with converted mana cost X. You may choose new targets for the copy.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Legion Guild Mage. For a red, and a white, it's a 2/2 human wizard. 5 a red and tap to deal 3 damage to each opponent. Or 2 a white and tap to tap another target creature. Huh.
It's not bad. That first ability, if it cost any less, would just be stupid because you would just sit back and be like,
Mm-hmm.
bolt you, bolt you, bolt you. Okay, the game's over. So, closes things out pretty well.
Yeah.
And the last one is the Swarm Guild Mage. For a black and green, 2/2 Elf Shaman that's uncommon. For 4 and a black and tap, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace until end of turn. And for 1 and a green and tap, you gain 2 life.
Sick.
Yeah, not
That
bad.
first ability is ridiculous.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah. So there's also a cycle of creatures that cost 4 colored mana
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are all really neat. So the first one up at the closer, well, I think it's the first one anyway. Yeah, so the first one is the Conclave Cavalier. The Selesnya one. For green, green, white, white. It's a 4/4 uncommon Centaur Knight with Vigilance. That's pretty good. 4/4 for 4 with Vigilance. But when it dies, you get 2/2 Elf Knights with Vigilance.
Yeah.
People are calling it Death Coil Elf or something like that. I forget already. Someone said it in the chat earlier. Elf Coil Engine. There we go. Even though it's not an elf, but it makes elves. So yeah.
Next, we've got the Cackling Drake.
Nope.
Crackling, not cackling. For 2 blue, 2 red, a Drake with flying, a star 4. Its power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery spells you own in exile and in your graveyard. And when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. I might still cackle anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's worth cackling.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I love that these Izzet cards are counting exile, so that
Yes.
you don't have that. Do I jumpstart this because that makes my Drake weaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
now the answer is
encourages
always yes. You jumpstart this because it doesn't change your Drake at all. Shut up.
it encourages you to actually use the guild's mechanic. Wow. Awesome. That's not sarcastic. That is literally like a very solid design decision on their part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't want you to be like, I don't want to play this card the way it's supposed to be played because it makes something else worse.
Yeah.
So they said, there's an easy way around that. Boom.
The fact that I'm honestly surprised it's taken as long as they have for them to reference cards in exile. Now we talked about this in Professor Beard, talks about exile, but to actually use the exile zone and cards in there as a reference is something that we saw a little bit of starting with basically like imprint and related things like that. But I'm surprised we don't see more of it. I think this is just brilliant. Okay. Who's next?
Looks like the next one is the Golgari Find Broker. This one's 2 black and 2 green for a 3/4 elf shaman. And when Golgari Find Broker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah. Regrowth is always useful.
And you're getting, considering the mana cost restrictions, you're getting a pretty solid body and a permanent back. So yeah.
Yeah. They can chain each other if you get 2.
That's true.
But I think I like the next one a little better because it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah, what's that?
The Night Veil Predator for 2 blue, 2 black. It's a vampire. It's a 3/3 with flying, death touch, and hexproof. It's not Vampire Nighthawk, but it's like a 3-power removal spell that they can't really interact with because it will just kill whatever when they decide to send something at you and you want it dead. Here's this thing, and in the meantime, it's also a 3/3 flyer. So yeah, I like.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, should be one more.
Should be one more.
Just one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
It's the True Fire Captain. For red, red, white, white is a 4/3 human knight with Mentor. And when True Fire Captain is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. Ooh. That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they'd have to be solid with the ridiculous mana costs.
Yeah, for how difficult they are to cast, it needs to be worth it. Otherwise, they just get ignored completely.
Yeah.
I worry about opening 1 or 2 in sealed and being like, can I do this? I feel like it's a trap.
Only if they share a color.
Oh no, I mean even just like 1, you're gonna be like, how often am I gonna have perfect mana to cast this before turn like 7? Are they still relevant later? Probably, but
yeah.
Well, it's 10 o'clock local time, Eastern Standard, something. Do we want to stop here? There's a couple other things we haven't talked about, but I think we've hit a lot of the highlights.
Yeah, I think so. I do want to point out that it's very strange that there are only 5 hybrid cards, and then the split cards each have 1/2 that's hybrid.
Well, they always have to be careful with hybrids because if you remember in sealed, you got to separate, okay, here's 5 piles, 1 for each color. And then here's another 5 piles, 1 for each guild. And then here's the piles that are between those piles, which are the hybrid, because they could be either one of these and oh my god, my brain hurts. So it's a lot to sort through.
I remember that was a real horror in Shadowmoor Eventide Limited.
Yeah, Shadowmoor Eventide Sealed was, especially at the beginning, you know, like at the pre-release, was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, there's one more cycle that we have to talk about because we didn't last week, and I felt stupid afterwards. The lockets.
Yeah, that won't take too long. I mean, they're all pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so they're 3 mana artifacts. They're all common. They tap for one of each color or one of either color in their guild, and then they have 4 of the appropriate hybrid, and tap and sacrifice to draw 2 cards. So originally we had, what was the first one? The Signets.
Signets.
Which
are
cost
awesome.
2. Yes. Signets cost 2, and for 1 and tap, they made both colors.
Yes.
What did we have in the second Ravnica?
The Keystone.
The Keystones and the Cluestones.
Cluestone.
I thought the Cluestones were something else.
No.
Pretty sure.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Clues because of
Yeah.
Innistrad. Never mind.
Yeah, there were the keys and the Cluestones.
Yeah,
in,
so the keys
Ravnica.
were 3 mana, tap for either color, and could turn into creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the Cluestones did.
The Cluestones were 3, could make a mana of either color, and you could pay 1 of each color, tap and sack to draw a card.
Okay. Yeah, the key
The
runes
lockets-
were in the 2 sets, and the Clues tones, because I started calling them Clues tones, were in Dragon's Maze. Thank you, Pinball Witch.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
so-
and now we have
so-
lockets.
The lockets feel more like spiritual descendants of the Cluestone, just from what they do. So they all cost 3. They all tap for 1 of either of the guild's colors, and you can pay 4 of that guild's colors hybrid, and tap it and sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. So
Which
the-
I literally just said, but good job repeating it.
You're welcome. So they all cost 3. They're all artifacts. They're all common, and they all have the same sort of like play it early, and then when you don't need the mana anymore, cash it in for card. Seemed good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The signets were really good. I mean, really good. Maybe borderline too good.
It's like every color gets random growth.
All right. I think we should stop it. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh, but there's one more card. But I can't leave without talking about Wand of Vertebrae, Mike, because it's just. Tell them about the Wand of Vertebrae.
The Wand of Vertebrae is an uncommon artifact that costs 1. It has 2 abilities. The first one is tap. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. The second ability is pay 2 and tap and exile Wand of Vertebrae. Shuffle up to 5 target cards from your graveyard into your library.
And it's literally a staff made out of bone.
Looks like a snake's spine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This card is so weird.
It really is bizarre.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a number of graveyard synergies in this set between Jumpstart and Undergrowth and all that good stuff, but it really is just weird. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Wait. No, literally one more. This is very quick.
Okay.
I'm surprised this card didn't exist already. Ionize. I meant to
Yeah.
say this
Oh, I
earlier.
was going to say that one earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's it do, Dirk?
Well, I'm trying to get to and everything. Essentially, it's a counter spell with a, oh, and by the way, screw you. For 1, a blue, and a red. It's a rare instant. Counter target spell. Ionize deals 2 damage to that spell's controller.
You heard it here, folks. Dirk just said it. It's
It's a
basically a
counterspell with a
counterspell
screw
that
you.
basically says "screw you," unlike every other counterspell in the game.
Which actually has proper text on it. Counter magic is a simple process of breaking matter into its elementary particles.
And also
You're a-
zapping your dumbass.
I mean, you're a science teacher. This works, right?
Yeah, it pretty much is what it does.
Yeah, Stark just said counterspell is no. Ionize is no. Also, screw you. That's it. Yeah, that's the difference. Oh man, we need to do an episode of what each counterspell is. Like power sync is no, and screw anything you were gonna do.
Should we rate each counterspell on, 0 to 5 middle fingers up? Or
Was like ionize is like it literally is a counterspell and then a shock back.
Yeah.
So it's a no, and I'm gonna shock you so that you understand. Don't do that again.
did you really think this was going to work?
Bad dog, bad dog. Let's just spray in his face.
Yep.
Yeah,
Except in this case,
V-Bane,
it's a
Putting
lightning.
their nose in it a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, V-Bane pointed out the first time that they tried this was suffocating blast. I remember I have a
Yeah.
suffocating blast and I've had one forever because it's so
Yeah.
cool, but it's not a good card.
It just doesn't work because you can't cast it if you don't have that second target.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it does exactly.
Bolts a creature.
Oh, it bolts a creature.
Yeah, so you have to have a spell and a creature to target, and sometimes that just doesn't happen.
Yep.
Okay, I think now we're actually good to stop. It's just one that I meant to do several times during the course of this episode.
Yeah, not a problem. I didn't want to be like, okay, here's one for me, and no, screw you. But yeah, let's stop here.
Word. So, how do we wrap it up, gentlemen? What you got?
Well, for my final thoughts, I'm going to say A, the set looks awesome. B, really looking forward to going to a pre release, although then C, bit of a sad note. Have you guys heard the news about Lucky's?
Yep.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, it's gonna close again.
He's going to close again, which, obviously for a lot of people out there, nowhere close to this, life goes on. But for people locally, this is a very celebrated game store. Lucky opened it and did a great job, and this passed through some hands of some owners that took different approaches. And then Lucky came back and all was good with the world. And now he's put out that in October, he's closing the store down for good. He says he's had some interesting opportunities come up that he doesn't want to see go unanswered, and so he's pursuing something that is not owning this card store. So, yeah, Carrie literally turned to me in the car the other day. We were driving down the road, and she said, "So where are you going to go when Lucky's closes?" I said, "Oh, man." And there are some other very good stores around here. I like Gaming Underground. They're in High Point. They've actually moved into Archdale a little bit because the building they were in has been blown up on
Condemned.
purpose.
Yeah,
well,
it was.
I mean, it's
it
not
was
there
kind of a nightmare for the last several years they were there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now they're in a shopping center with a Papa John's. So that's not a bad thing. And then of course there's the store in Kernersville. Not Kernersville.
I was gonna say no.
No, in Winston-Salem, up on Country Club,
The house cards.
House of Cards. Yeah.
Cards.
So there are other places to go.
Yeah.
So-
And Comic Dimension on Spring Garden.
Yeah, we try not to talk about them though.
Yeah. I had a bad experience there. So, which hopefully that I'm not turning anyone away. Hopefully people that go there have a good time. And I said, maybe Chewy should buy Lucky's.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, no. So, anyway, but that's what I got. So, good news, life is going well. Bad news, Lucky's, but still looking forward to having at least one more pre-release there. So, with that, I'm gonna bid you gentlemen adieu, and I'm gonna mess up the screen now when I leave. So, good night, everybody.
Night B.
That's okay. I'll mess up the screen too whenever I head out. Because I'm also about to collapse in terms of my tiredness level. But my final thought is that the set does look pretty good. I will not be able to make the pre-release, and I will also not be able to make it to the next show, because I will be not in this state.
Oh.
And I don't mean in this state of mind. I mean literally I will not be in North Carolina.
I think the next episode probably will be the pre-release episode. Maybe? Is that how that works? I can't remember.
Probably.
Or do we usually record... No, we usually record an episode and then use the pre-release episode for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
Crap.
Really?
But you're going to Disney World, so that's way better.
Disney World.
Disney World!
So yeah, I will not be here for the next episode because I will be in Florida. So I do wish everybody who goes to the pre-release good luck. Hope you guys enjoy it. I would love to go to the pre-release and pick my guild, but I will not be able to do so this time.
Yeah, apparently they're doing seeded boosters again, even though nobody has mentioned that as far as I know. But the loading ready runs pre-release was yesterday, and apparently they had seeded boosters,
Oh.
according to chat anyway.
I mean, well, if they can balance them, then sure, fine. But
That's what you want to do. All right. Well, with that, I am heading out. Have a good night, everybody.
Night, Zerg! Everybody always leaves us, Mike. Do we smell? I mean, I'm sure I smell. Do you smell too?
yeah.
Mike's dog has no nose. Well, then how does he smell? Awful. Oh, God. What is wrong with us?
I don't know. I'm also excited about the dang it, pre-release. Yes, you
Yes.
can tell how invested I am in the idea of it. I feel like I've missed a few over the last year. I know I missed Ixalan. Did I miss Dominaria? No, I didn't miss Dominaria.
No, you missed M19.
That's right, M19.
Because I missed M19.
Mm-hmm.
Did Brian go to M19?
I don't remember.
Did we all miss M19? I can't remember. I know we didn't do a pre-release episode because nobody went. Pinball Witch threw 10 bits to make sure anyone watching before the pre-release knows the land slot has guild gates, no basics. Right.
That's cool. Very convenient.
Think we forgot to mention that, yeah. At some point. I think I mentioned something about it last week, or that might have been Monday Night Magic. Doing 2 podcasts a week, stuff tends to run together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But thank you, Witch. Witch is my sniper. One of my snipers. In XCOM.
Oh, that's right.
She got, in the last XCOM stream, she got some genetic alterations in her legs, so now she can just jump onto rooftops instead of having to climb. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, was that it for you there, Mike?
Yes, it is.
Fair enough. Then I will say, hi! Yeah, that's all I got, really. It's just hi. Hello. How's everyone doing? I've got a whole lot of nonsense going on. What with podcasts and YouTube and Twitch and all that, of course. Obviously, I streamed some XCOM last night. Took the Twitch chat soldiers in to kill some invading aliens. I lost my first character. I'm not going to say who. Oh, wait. I should say who, because that's not going up on YouTube. I decided to not do that for the second stream. We lost a story character that it gave us called, what's his name? Zhang? Something like that. We had scoured the map for aliens and determined they're in the laundromat. So, like a genius, I just blew open the back wall of the laundromat, and there were 3 mutons in there, and they killed him. I was like, whoops. And it's the first time I had seen mutons in this run through.
Mm.
And there they were.
Those are the things that the chrysalids turn people into, right?
No, mutons are the big, like, not Loxodon, Rhinox, or,
Rocks?
Rocks. Yeah, rocks-looking dudes.
Oh, okay.
That are very big and mean, tough and grim. It was bad. They were like, look at that guy! And then they just killed him. And I was like they didn't knock him out and I couldn't get to him to stabilize him. Nope, they shot him and it was like, he's dead! And I went, oh. Well, that's bad. So, yeah. But it wasn't anyone from chat. Steph was one of our assaults, and she took enough damage to be out for like 11 days. She was gravely wounded, and she was out for 11 days because Steph is a badass. I sent her a text. I'm like, damn it, woman, no dying. And she responded. She was at work. She responded with, I'm trying, but I'm so hungry. I'm like, what? But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on there. I will be streaming hopefully tomorrow night, which means hopefully several times after that, a brand new game that's actually new that just came out a week or so ago called The Messenger that I'm super excited about. It's like a retro style platformer, but not exactly. It's sort of Ninja Gaiden if Ninja Gaiden wasn't just brutally evil. Like original Ninja Gaiden, not 3D brawler Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
Yeah, cast your mind back to the days when getting hit would knock you back and off of a cliff, and then you go, and then the enemy would respawn. So if you dodge it the first time, it's back, and it knocks you off and into the cliff, and you go, or off the cliff, and you go. So yeah. That is the goal for tomorrow night, or some point in the future if you're listening to this podcast later. And of course, Hearthstone. I started playing Eternal, as I mentioned. I think before the show, or that might have been that was at the beginning of the actual show. And it's really good, so I'll be streaming that and Hearthstone, of course, and more XCOM. I've got to do more Plague Inc. Oh God, I love Plague Inc. Sometime soon, I gotta destroy the world some more.
It's a really neat game.
It is. But anyway, there's all kinds of stuff going on stream over on YouTube. I've got some Slay the Spire going up, some Hearthstone. I'm still working on the edit for the secret lab, the first secret lab boss in the Hearthstone puzzle lab. It's a 4-hour file, so, and it's me being frustrated the entire time, like in the video. So turning it into something watchable is a long, slow process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's taking longer than I'd like, but I've got Slay the Spire, I've got some Rogue Legacy. I finished DuckTales Remastered, that was nice. I hate the end of that game, but the rest of the game is absolutely perfect. So, yeah.
That was a really aggravating add-on. It's like, granted, the original, like the way the original version ended there was kind of like, it's a little anticlimactic. You just climb up the rope.
Yeah, so in DuckTales, after you beat the final boss, it would drop a rope in front of you, and all you had to do was climb the rope to get there before Flintheart Glomgold, who was being flown up holding onto a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. It was almost impossible to fail at. And in this one, they added a race to where you have to like actually use some precision platforming to get up to that.
Yeah, that the game doesn't require you to have to do in pretty much any other section.
Yeah, and so that was frustrating, but even that wasn't so bad once I got the hang of, when to pogo and when to normally jump. But then after that, there's a race against rising lava using with chains. You have to jump from chain to chain and make your way up. And if you fail any of these, you lose a life. And if you lose all your lives, sure, you can continue, but it takes you back to the very start of the level. So you have to do the entire level and beat the boss and do the first race just to get another shot at the second race. And every game over cut in that was between 12 and 15 minutes of gameplay that it took me to get back to that point to hit record again. And there were a lot of game over cuts where I'm like, well, I died again. And then I'd have to play, and I did all this on stream, so I had to play 10 to 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, depending on, you know, how the boss, the versions of the final boss I got and stuff like that. Just to get another shot. And by then you lose the muscle memory and you forget, okay, where do I jump to make this ideal? And then you lose again and you have to go back to the beginning. And also during the first stream, I hadn't eaten since like an early lunch or a late breakfast. And I was dying. So I actually waited 10 days to come back and finish it. And that was a several hour stream. Like, it was not good. But the rest of the game is so good that it's almost worth it. But anyway, so yeah, that entire playlist is on youtube.com/themanapool if you want to check it out. But anyway, all that is fun. So if you want to help support what I do with this ridiculous amount of 2 podcasts a week and all the YouTube videos and all the Twitch streams, the most direct way is to become a lifeguard on patreon.com/themanapool, where the uncommon lifeguards get an uncommon colored name in the Manapool Discord server, which, by the way, you should totally join, because we're all hanging out and talking about all kinds of stuff. Magic, Hearthstone, video games, everything else, really. It's just a bunch of nonsense going on in there. But we're all very friendly, because if you're not, I'll kick you out. So you have to be. Right, Mike?
That's right.
That's why we don't let Mike in there.
No.
Wait, what? I mean... But anyway, you get the uncommon colored name in the Discord server and access to YouTube videos and Manapool episodes early. The rare lifeguards get the rare colored name and the early stuff, and odds and ends, which is all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool that's uncensored and unfiltered. And it's not really content behind a paywall, it's more us being goofy. Or overly serious, depending on everyone's mood. And then the mythic lifeguards get the mythic coloration in the Discord server, and the odds and ends, and the early stuff, and the shout out on both podcasts, and what else? Oh, the end slate of all the videos. Get your name there. Haha. I remember things. I'm tired, all right? Leave me alone. So, I would like to thank our mythic lifeguards, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Team U, Hellas Haryu, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Brittain, Casey, Fayen Says, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Violet Moon. Violet's my other sniper. Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Ow, ow, ow. And Cramp. Oh, God, Cramp. Mike, Cramp, take over for me.
Send us an email. I don't know. I don't actually know half of what you say there. I usually zone out while you're doing it.
Ow, that's okay. I just needed someone to be talking while I was cramping. This cramp in the back of my right thigh. It's been popping up a lot lately. I think I need to change the way I'm sitting, or maybe drink even more water. Which here lately, I don't even know if that's possible.
It was probably the way you were sitting.
Whew. Anyway, what else are we talking about? That was it. So. With that, we're going to be done with the Manapool number 526. That is not a small number. Stark said Mike has been thrust into a leadership role he's not ready for.
No.
It's true. So, yeah, we'll be done now. So thank you all so very much for listening or watching, if you were watching live on twitch.tv/themanapool. Yay. And go play some Magic.